What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode today of the My Player Career Mode. I know I said I was bringing this series to a close, but a lot of you pleaded with me to go for another season, and so I couldn't let you guys not have another season. But I was only going to do that provided that we did get a new club and a new transfer offer. After sitting there and simming for some time, I finally managed to get one, and it just so happens it came from Arsenal, whose side is pretty decent. So for our final season, we'll be going with, of course, my favourite team in real life, my supported club in real life, but also a new club for Ben. Now, I know the thing is, I was hoping he was going to move out to maybe Italy or Germany or somewhere like that, but unfortunately, no teams came in. I simmed for a little bit of time, and if you don't know how to do it, basically, to get offers, you save the game, sim through the days. If no offer comes in, back out and go back into it. So I did that for quite a while, and finally I did get one, as I said, coming from Arsenal. I know it's not everybody's ideal team, but hopefully it'll still be a bit of a challenge. I don't think they're playing Champions League football or Europa League football this season, so it's only really the league title that we can challenge for, but it would be very nice to get Arsenal league title, being an Arsenal fan as well, of course. If you saw previously, yesterday even, I put a little comment out in my community section of the channel, so if you don't already look at that, it's a good place to look at because sometimes I'm active on there. I had a major issue with FIFA. I finished recording my episode of the Celta Vigo career mode. My game glitched out and bugged out and would not let me start the game. I spent about 6.5 to 7 hours yesterday uninstalling, reinstalling, doing just various different fixes. I finally managed to fix it at about 8:30 yesterday. The reason I'm mentioning this is because we are 8 months into FIFA 18 and this is still a problem. Luckily for me, I haven't had this bug for the last couple of months. This is the first time it's done it over the last 3 or so. I had it a while ago and I had to fix it the same way then. But this is ridiculous because, we are 8 months into this game now. So I don't know what it was that actually made it happen, but luckily it's back and on track. And of course, tomorrow we have the World Cup game mode coming out. So we decided to start off the Premier League campaign with this Arsenal team. At this point, though, I wasn't sure whether or not there was any Champions League or Europa League football. And the first game actually came against Leicester. Remember, Ben spent quite a few years now here in the Premier League with Manchester United, Spurs before that, and then West Ham United last season, winning a Champions League with West Ham United as well. So now he has a new journey with Arsenal, playing for both North London sides. And Leicester, they were the miles better team in this one. But when you've got a player like Ben on the pitch, it's always easy to finally create a chance. And inside the 80th minute, he finally did that. But the save was pretty decent from the Leicester City goalkeeper. I'm a little bit worried with the way this Arsenal team sets up, I'm not going to lie. And this is a big problem for me as we finally see the first goal go into the back of the net. A lovely finish from Ben, finding in the bottom corner with his left foot. Kept it down low and hard. But another problem with the My Player series, why do teams have sick teams, like really good players, and yet they choose to pick really bad ones? We saw it at Man United. They had the likes of Pogba within their ranks, and yet Regan Poole, who was 73 rated, was getting started over him. Same problem here with Arsenal. They have Lamar, they've got Gabriel up front, or Barbosa as I used to call him, and Bolo, some quality wingers as well, some good midfielders, good defenders, yet they were starting Takuma Asano on the left-hand side. What is going on? This is another problem that I have, and it's not just in My Player Career Mode, it's in career mode as well. I've seen it before, and that's why, of course, one of the fixes for that is to, I think, put a second controller in, and you can switch around the team by controlling the other team, and then, of course, turn your controller off. I'm pretty sure you can do that, but you can't do that for My Player. So unless Wenger takes about his ways and actually starts his best team, we might struggle to win a Premier League title, but we'll see anyways. The first game, luckily, did start off very well indeed, coming away with the 1-0 victory. Ben giving the only goal of the game there, and I'm sure DT and a few of the other guys who appear on Arsenal Fan TV would have been happy with the way he made his debut. Looking at the match facts, Arsenal were actually the worst side. Leicester, as I said, playing better on the day and probably deserved to get something out of the game itself. So I think Manchester United have won the last 2 Premier League trophies on offer. So it's most likely going to be very tough to knock off Manchester United from top spot. But we had the North London derby, only the second game into the Premier League season, and already a North London derby. Ben's former club Spurs will take on his current one Arsenal. We've had some cracking games in this tie down the line. Previously, of course, when Ben was playing for Spurs, there was that one, I think it was in the Champions League or Europa League or something like that, in which it was just an unreal game and Ben scored that worldie against them. Arsenal, that is. And Arsenal still end up going on to knock out Spurs. So they've had some cracking games down the line. This time, though, Ben's going to be on the other side. I'm really not a fan of the 5 at the back, but thankfully, Arsene Wenger played his strongest team for this one, so he's showing he can do it. I just don't know why he rests it when he simply does not need to do so. This one was very tight. Inside the first half, as we were approaching the half-time whistle, Ben found Lamar at the back post, but the 91 rated winger at this stage could not hit his effort on target. And we move into the last 16 minutes of a game which was very close. Ben lost his man, Christian Eriksen, and it just so happens that the Danish playmaker gave Spurs a 1-0 advantage. This is the problem. And this is why I don't think Ben's going to fit 100% well into this 5 at the back formation. Traditionally, he loves bombing forward. He likes being that, I guess, second striker, setting up the plays, scoring the goals. But in a 5 at the back formation playing centre midfield, he has to defend as well. And he's not so capable at that because, as you saw there, he completely lost where Eriksen was. And the veteran Dane gave Spurs the win. So, not great defending from Ben. But it was Arsenal's first defeat with Ben in the side after only 2 games. And it's the first North London derby defeat of this season as well. So, not the way you wanted to start off there. I show you, there wasn't much going on in that game. Very tight, very, close contest. It was tough to really do a lot in that one. Ben's former club, West Ham, last season, winning at Bournemouth by 2-1. I'm going to be intrigued to see where they finish in this Premier League season and also how they finish in the Champions League now that there is, of course, no Ben in that side. But we move into the third game regardless, this one coming against Southampton. And we go back to the team again. Shopfat on the right, Asano, El Neni in the midfield, Tonelli at the back, Cedric at right back. This is while they've got Bellerin, who of course is an 88 right back. They've got Lamar, who's 91. And this game wasn't like it came 3 days after the Spurs game. They had enough time to be rested. So there's no reason why this team shouldn't be the strongest team possible. So if they lose this one, there's only one person to blame, and that will be Arsene Wenger for his team selection. I'm not going to start, Wenger out or anything. He's gone in real life, of course. I'm not going to start doing it in the series. I'm not that type of person. But hey, listen, keep selecting your teams like this, then you're asking for problems pretty much. But we'll see how they play anyways. We have to keep the faith. I know that for sure. Ospina in goal instead of Lopez. Again, questionable because Lopez is the best goalkeeper at the club on rating. Maybe he's going off form, but even so. Inside the 8th minute, Arsenal finally start a game off better than their opponents. A lovely move. Found its way to Embolo, who had the shot, but it was easily saved by McCarthy. Ben's free kick then whipped in, causing a little bit of danger in the Southampton penalty area. Eventually fell back out again, where Ben would pick it up and strike his effort goalwards. But another good save by the goalkeeper, stopping this one from taking Arsenal the lead there. But they eventually did find a breakthrough. Lovely play from Embolo, setting up Ben. He got through one-on-one, and that is quite simply put a brilliant finish from what we are used to seeing from him. He's actually wearing the number 11 shirt as well at Arsenal. Of course, traditionally, he wore the number 7 at Man United. He wore the number 8 at West Ham last season. What did he wear at Real Madrid? I can't remember what he wore. Was it 7 at Real Madrid? I'm pretty sure. And then Spurs before that, was it 11 as well? I'm 100% sure that it was a 7 at Real Madrid. I could be wrong, but he's got the number 11 shirt at Arsenal, following the footsteps of course, Mesut Özil in real life. But 48 minutes in, second half came about, and Ben just did the defender dirty there. But I wanted to show you this one because this block was sensational from the Southampton man, getting his body across to stop that one. And with 2 minutes added time on the clock, we couldn't quite find a second. Embolo's dodgy first touch as he was getting through on goal stopped him from finding his goal. And eventually Arsenal would come away with a 1-0 victory. So 3 games, 3 1-0 games as well. This is the problem with the My Player career modes. The games, unless you're playing your best team, have very few chances in them. But still, it makes it tough. It makes it really close as well. And it's not like Arsenal didn't create many chances there, because that one was a little bit different from the first 2, because they did have 11 shots, 6 of those being on target, and yet only scored 1 goal. But some good news for Ben. He got Player of the Month as he came out of that one, only scoring 2 goals in his first 3 games here at Arsenal, but he was still deserving of the Player of the Month, according to some people, and so it was given toward him. And after that, we move into some World Cup qualifiers. I played this because I thought it'd be nice to see Ben play English football, but then I realised that this doesn't even matter, because if this is to be the final season, we won't see Ben play in that World Cup. So me playing this had no relevance, whatsoever. So I guess what I should have done is make him theoretically retire from the international side. That's what we should have done, but I didn't. I played this one against Russia. Thought, why not? And I'm sick and tired of seeing Russia in every single group that I have. This is getting a little bit beyond a joke now. It's like there's only a select few teams that we always pull. I'm sure we've had Wales in our group in this series before. I'm sure we've had Russia in there. Most likely going to end up getting Bulgaria. I can't exactly remember who was in there, but I'm going to assume that Bulgaria is going to be there because we've had them numerous times now. And yeah, it's just like, wow. Anyways, continuing on, we'll move into the highlights of the game and show you them for this one. And the actual game itself wasn't too bad, but I wanted to use this time to talk about how this series is going to pan out. Because, of course, if it is to be our last season, in terms of how often we upload it, it probably will be every 2 days, every 3 days. And I'm going to play more games per episode, most likely. Probably 5 an episode instead of the 4 that you're used to seeing. Just so we can get through the season slightly quicker and make it so it's still, you know, entertaining to play as well. But this one was pretty much all England in the first half. They eventually get a free kick, and I was hoping that Ben might have been able to take this. Of course, he took them all at West Ham, and it seems like he's actually being put on corner kick duties at Arsenal as well. I'm hoping he might get to take the free kicks over there too, but unfortunately, Marcus Rashford's shot ended up coming back off the crossbar, and into the second half we go, and England eventually managed to create their first major opportunity. Marcus Rashford finishing off what was a very, very nice move indeed. Getting at the end of that one there, and curling it into the top corner. I'm not sure where Marcus Rashford is currently playing his trade either at this point in the career mode, because he was at Real Madrid with Ben, and then I think he went to AC Milan, but from there, I'm not 100% sure where he still is. I'm trying to remember who actually played in that Monaco side when we took him on for the Champions League final a few days ago. I don't think he was part of it, but I could be wrong. Anyways, he did give England the lead, and he's probably going to be one of the star players come the World Cup in 2 years' time if Ben even decides he's going to get there. We'll see what happens with the series anyways. Maybe I'll try and get to that World Cup. I don't know. We'll see anyways. But with 6 minutes to go, a little bit of frustration for Ben as he gave the ball away in the box. I felt this was very, very harsh from the referee. I'm not going to lie to you. That was a genuine attempt to win the ball. I didn't mean to bring out the man. I saw the touch and I thought maybe we'll get this with Ben. And I thought the referee was very, very harsh in his decision to instantly give him a red card. It wasn't even a second yellow. It was a straight red. And the reason I'm saying this is harsh is because yesterday when I was playing Celta Vigo career mode, I got through one-on-one with Santi Mina, was taken out in the box in a goal-scoring opportunity, and the defender didn't even get booked. He got warned. So that's up the other end of the pitch when Russia weren't breaking. It was a dodgy first touch, so Ben had every right to go for the ball. And the fact that the referee, you know, sent him off straight up, I was just like, that's ridiculous, ref. But he's going to have to learn from that. I think that might be his second red card of the series as well. It's not like we picked up many, but ultimately I just didn't know how on earth the referee deemed that a red card. But luckily for England, they picked up the 1-0 win, and they start off their World Cup qualifiers with a victory. But due to Ben's red card, it does mean, of course, that now he has to miss this one against Wales, which would have to go on and sim. Dele Alli, very good replacement to bring in, so it's not like we've lost quality in that part of the pitch. But it just so happens that England would not have enough to beat Wales, because Wales did end up scoring and taking the victory as well. Looking down the list, there was, of course, no Gareth Bale. But I do remember seeing, actually, I think that Lockyer, the number 2 on their bench, is actually Gareth Bale's regen. Because as a little test, I actually made Ben a manager at some point, and you'll see that in a future video, potentially. And he's playing at Real Madrid, and he's actually Welsh. So I assume that he is Gareth Bale's regen. But guys, we did lose 1-0, and that'll be the way we end today's video off. I'm going to try and get a second one for you later on today as well, but then I need to go and help some family members move. But if you are new around here and like what you see, the subscribe button is down below you. Alongside that is the notification bell, so you can click that and never miss an upload. I'll hopefully see you all again tonight for another video, guys. Catch you all later. Adios!